All right, guys, we're making a Gunblade today on stream, and I just wanted to make sure that the audio was coming through the way that we wanted it to. This is about as loud as I can get it going. We are in Blender today, and we are going to be importing our reference image. So Shift A, image, mesh plane. And we're going to come down here, and we're going to be using this. I'm going to switch this over to this, and we're going to get rid of our sky texture and just keep it like this. And we're going to come here and we're going to go to texture. And this way, we can take this, we're going to go N, come to item, we're going to set the Y at, the Y is fine, Z is going to be 0, and the rotation is going to be 90, and this is just an easy way to get our scene set up where our image is right in the center. I'm also going to go G, Y, and hide so that it's not there, and to hide that. And last but not least, we can make this brighter at a 1. This way, when I go Shift A and add a cube in and scale that down, go N, and let's see what this is at. This is not quite a meter. Scale X, 1.5 meters. It's like 5 feet long. That should be right. This should be right. Yeah, that's totally chilling. So we're gonna delete that. What I would like to do here is take this back, G, Y. And with this scene, I'm actually going to go like this. And that way we will be able to see exactly what we're doing here. And with our reference image that we have here, I want to, I think it's under here. Let's hide all this, hide all this. Maybe it's here, visibility, viewport display, in front, and so if I go Shift A, mesh cube, it's still showing up. And I do want to take it down in its seems to be very feel like there's a way to make it less visible. Hold out? No. It's opacity. Performance film. And let's keep going. Oh, we're not selecting that. There we go. Come back to here. Visibility. In front. And there used to be a way to set its opacity, but I don't know where that's at anymore. Shading. That's fine. We'll start here. So I'm going to hit N, and we have this Gunblade that we designed a while back. And what we are going to do is model it in 3D. So I'm going to do some basic blocking out of the gun, right? So that's what we want to do first. There should be a way to set its opacity here. Output, I think it's under this. Transparent background, that should be fine. Make that transparent. Performance. I thought that there was a way to make it less visible. And I guess I could just come to here into our reference and we can just go into the transmission here. And I think we can just raise our transmission up. No, that's not it. I do have it in front. So maybe what I'll do is I'll come back to, is it in material? Viewport display. We'll just set it back to not in front for now. That's fine. So what I want to do is I want to make this base gun shape first, and I'm going to use a cube for it. So we have our barrel, we have our blade, we have some form of attachment to the blade, and then we have it looks like it's a revolver. That's how we have it designed, but it also has a sword hilt, which is definitely awesome. So what I'm going to do is take this and we're going to scale it on the x-axis, and we can tab, grab this side, go back, G, X. We're going to take this right into here, right about there, and Control R to about here. 3, grab that. Oh wait, we need to go Control R right, like this. And 3, grab that. GZ. Boom, that looks fantastic. And what I will probably do is leave that like that. I know it's not perfectly lining up with the bottom of the gun, but that's fine for right now. We just want to kind of get this blocked out in a way that kind of makes sense. And then tab. Oh, interesting. Wonder why that looks like that. Let's go like this. Let's go 5. There we go. Let's delete this face. X face. X face. I wonder why it inset that. That seems kind of interesting. That is fine. And then we want to get a cylinder to be the barrel. So I'm going to go Shift A. Oh, let's get out of edit mode. Shift A, mesh, cylinder. We don't need 32. We could probably do 24. Let's do that. 24. That looks fine. Something like this should be fine. Rotate add, rotate Y 90. GZ, GX. We just want to make sure that we'll shade this smooth. And then we're also going to click on this and we're going to go exit face 2. Loop select this extrude, scale, and then extrude, Y. X. And that can go back into there. That should be fine. Tab. Now we're going to go auto smooth, shade auto smooth. So there's our barrel, looking good. And this is lining up fantastic. Now what I do want to do is we will get this part, like the cylinder, fixed here shortly. And first let's build the contraption around that. So kind of difficult to see here in this image. Maybe over here down at the bottom of the vertical screen, you guys will be able to see we have a few bolts kind of holding things together, and I only drew this from its profile perspective, so it didn't I didn't do a top down or anything like that, because this was just a fun little art stream that I made, and that is fine. What we do want is this part to be larger and wider than this part, which is right now, pretty decently sized. And this is just a block out phase, right? So this is just blocking everything out. So let's set this here. Actually, let's go like this. 1 or 2. We should be able to do that. Shift S, cursor to selected. Hit tab again. And that will put the our world origin right there. And so then we can go Shift A, mesh, cube, scale the cube down, GX, and if you're watching the vertical stream, you'll be able to see at the bottom of the stream kind of my rendered view, which is very helpful for what I'm doing right now. We want this to line up. I'm going to bring this back, GX, to right about there, and then I'm going to hit in edit mode 3, grab that face, excuse me, GX, and we're going to bring this forward. And then we are also going to bring this down, GZ, down to right about there, and GX, bring it back just a little bit. I think I want this part to be pretty, we can do a bevel on it later. So now that we have that built out, I do have these areas right here that we need to kind of create out of this, which what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this too, and I'm just going to go extrude X to right about there, GZ, up, and then I'm going to hit 3. We're going to grab that face, exit the face, and then from with 2 selected, this and this, we're going to just hit face. And actually, I don't think I am going to just hit face. I think I'm going to extrude this as well on the x-axis. Oh, I had them both selected. We only want this top one. Extrude X, bring it out, GZ, bring it down, and from here to here, we will now hit face. And that keeps everything quads. So I can loop select this and loop select this and just go F. And another thing that I was thinking, which maybe we'll do a little bit later, what we're going to do is do a mirror modifier on it. But for the moment being, I don't think I am going to do a mirror modifier. You know, maybe I will. I'll put a mirror modifier on all the individual assets here once we really start manipulating them. Right now, what I want to do is tab into this. We're going to go Control R, and we're going to bring this back to right about there. Just make sure that we're doing this in the right spot. We can go GG, move it over here, and it looks like we are adding in a. We're going to hit 3, delete this face. I'm going to hit 2, grab this and this, extrude, Z, and then let's go back to our mode here. I want this one. Let's go and hit 6 on our number pad. We're grabbing this. 4 to go back. GX. I want this to come out to here. And then I also want there to be a face here. So boom, boom, face. And then scale X. And we can hit 5 to get out of orthographic mode. And we will loop select this, F. And with this loop selected, oh, wait. Let's loop select this, F. Let's bring this back, GX. I like that. I think that looks really good. And this we might bring up, GZ. No, I think I like this kind of down a little bit. I think that looks good. I think that's fun. It's definitely a fun kind of definitely a more fun flow to it. So that's looking good. And then we have our handle that we need to make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out of edit mode on that. I'm going to go edit mode on here. And I'm going to hit 3. And we're just going to grab this outside. We're going to go Shift D, X, bring it back to here. And then we're also going to go P, separate by selection, Tab, select this again, GZ. And we want this kind of dead center of our handle, right? Which is looking great. Now we can go back into edit mode. We're going to loop select this with 2, just to make sure we're loop selecting it. We're going to go G, Y, or X, GX. Come to here, extrude, X to here. And then I'm going to go and right now we could grid fill this. And I'm going to just turn it until it is, oh, no, not span. That's fine. We're going to get this nice right up and down. That's what I like. Want it to kind of make sense. And the span can be like that. Is there a way where this is right up and down? That looks great. So then I'm going to go Control R on this. And we're going to scale this up. And then I'm going to go Control R. Control R. And we are going to grab both of these with Shift Alt select. And we're going to scale these like that. And that should be fine for now. I think that that's fine for now. We can also grab this and pull it out a little bit. 3. Grab this. GX. Zoom this in a little bit. Make it a little bit rounder. That looks great. And then we're going to hit 1. Grab that, G, Y, X. That looks fine. Because all we have to do is throw a subdivision surface modifier on this and it will work perfectly. And then we're going to grab this. Let's grab this loop here and scale this up. G, Y, X. And bring that in. That is looking great. I like that a lot. Wonderful handle to a wonderful gun. Blade. Now we have our trigger slash handguard. let's get that built. So right here, we're going to go tab, select these two, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then we are going to go Shift A, cube, scale, way down. And I'm going to rotate it on the y-axis until it is about the direction that I'm looking for. GX, scale XX. I'd say that's about a decent size. And then scale YY. Oh, ZZ. There we go. Just until it's kind of sticking out. GZZ. Like that. That is looking good. Now I am going to grab this face and we are going to go extrude. That's looking good. I'm going to grab this face and extrude X. To about there. And then we can also come here, Control R, and grab these and extrude this down. GX. And this will be GX as well. And this is just a simple way to kind of break up and set up what you guys want to have happen. What I will probably do here is get this curve a little bit more curved, and you can do that in multiple different ways. One thing I'll probably start with is going GZ on this. And we'll get both of these up at the same time. GZ. Control R. Scale X0. GZ. And let's hit O to get rid of the proportional editing. And then we're going to go Control R, Control, and then Scale X0, Control R, Scale X0, and with both of these selected, we're going to go GZ like that. And grab all of these, GX, like that. Take this down, GZ. Looking a lot better, GZ. GX, GZ. And with this, GZ, I like that a lot. With these, I might scale this down. Actually, if I'm going to scale down, I'm probably just going to lift it up. And lift this up, GZ. And then that can kind of thin it out a little bit. And as you can see, you're slowly just building out that shape, which is just wonderful. It's exactly what we want. GX. 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 And you're keeping quads, which makes it a lot easier for a lot of other steps that you might want to take when you are modeling and adding effects later down the line. It's going to make unwrapping and texturing a lot easier because your UVs will make sense. Keep quads. Quads are king. So that's even what we have going on over here towards the towards this. These are all quads. GX, GY, GY, GX. I would rather that be sharp. We'll just leave it there. That's fine. We'll fix that later. All right. Now for the center part here. We have that cylinder that we need to mess with. So I'm going to go tab. And first I'm going to go, for me it's Shift Q. And I have a add-on that I bought, Auto Mirror, Y, enter. So now when I edit this side, and I do an inset, scale X, exit faces, it is doing it to the other side as well, which is super nice. Tab, GX, bring that back a little bit. And so if I go like this, and on 2, and I extrude on the y-axis, I can connect these two. And if I come here, on my mirror, clipping is on. So now if I was to move these, they're connected, which is exactly what I want. I want those connected. Again, keeping quads wherever possible. Quad, quad, quad. Everything's looking fine. I like that a lot. And then one thing that I do think we should do here is maybe skinny this up a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll go 3, and let's grab this loop and this, and go GY, like that. I think that that is fantastic. And let's rotate it on the x-axis like this, GX. Oh, GY. I like that. I think that that looks really good. That looks great. Definitely an awesome little block out we got going here. Now we can go tab, and I can 3, 2, loop select that, control, well, we could control save, Shift S, and cursor to selected, Shift A, cylinder. We want its depth to be lower. That's interesting that it moved it over there. 3D cursor. No. Control Z. Control Z. Let's do this. Oh, because it's built into that, we don't want that. We want to go out of edit mode, Shift A, mesh, cylinder. We want its radius to be smaller. It's to be smaller. Radius is going to be something like this. And I want its rotation on the y-axis to be 90. And this way, we know it's dead center right now, right? Let's go at an angle here, see what this looks like. We want it a little bit longer. Something like that. I like that a lot. That's fine. That should be fine. Tab. Right click, shade auto smooth, tab. Control R. And then let me try something here real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. We want to have two cuts right here like this. And then with these, what I want to do is 3, select, and then let's isolate. Oh, I'm in that mode. Let's go select, checker, deselect. No, I think I'm going to just go like this. Boom, 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 boom. And I think these are going to be extruded scale in like this. Yeah, see that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something like that. And then individual origins scale. Shift X. And then just scale Shift Z. Scale X. Scale Shift Z. That's lengthwise. Scale Shift Y. I think that looks good. I think that's it right there. And then I should be able to grab Control Z, scale X, GX. Like that. I think that's it right there. That looks great. And then we're going to take this and we're going to extrude it out. I think that's accurate. I'm pulling up an image of a revolver. Hold on. My phone is... There we go. No, I think they continue out to the end. Yeah, they continue out to the end. So what I will do is Control Z, Control Z. Let's go like this. Let's Control R. Scale X 0. And then let's turn this on, GX. Like that. So that is all lined up. And then what I want to do is I want to Shift Z. And I want to 1, and I want to X vertices, tab, Shift Z. There we go. GX, like that. grid fill. Get rid of these. And then loop tools, relax. And that should be fine. Because what will happen is I'll have the bullets go into each of these, I'm pretty sure. There will be a hole there for the bullets, which I'll end up doing later. Very interesting. I'll have to mess with that a little bit. And figure out the best way to get that all gridded out so that I can make the bullet holes and make them realistic. But for right now, that should be fine, right? So we have this. Now, one thing that we can go back into this mode, get out of that mode. This is a super simple little block out, right? Like we're just, we don't want to add too much detail. We just want to kind of get all of the things there. So that's fine for now. This is fine for now. This we can shade auto smooth. I wonder what a subdivision surface modifier would look like on that. That's much more what I'm looking for. Tab, Control R. Take that back to there. Control R. Take this to here. Control R. Take that to there. Definitely more the vibe I'm going for. Looking much more like the trigger that we drew, right? Looking pretty damn good. Let's go 5, 0, 5. Yeah, there we go. Now it looks like we do have some form of let's get out of this. 5. This needs to be like that. Looks like we have some shading issues going on, but that's fine. Let me get out of 5 on this, and let's go like this. Yeah, it's got some form of shading issue, but that's fine for right now. I know that there's no actual issues with that. Let's grab this. Let's go 3, and let's rotate on the X, and let's make the top wider than the bottom. And GX, something like that. I think that's better. And then this, Shift Q, auto mirror, Y, enter, tab. Oof, that's the wrong side. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Add mirror modifier on the Y-axis, tab. Control R, boom. Let's go and isolate, Shift 1. Grab all those, exit, vertices, tab, Shift, there we go. And then we can hit tab and we can go 3 G. G. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Boom, boom, boom. GX. Nope, GY. And that's getting mighty close to the width of the barrel, so this we might rotate X like this, GX. Nope, GY. I think that looks a little bit better. A little bit more organic on the shape, which is what we want, right? That's what we're looking for. A little bit more organic on the shape. Very nice, very nice. I'm thinking that that is much better. Now, it is saying that this is clipping through. So we should be able to, let's go Q, origin to geometry, and scale this, Shift X. GZ. I think that that looks fantastic. Definitely much better, right? Definitely much better. One thing I am going to change is the matte cap here. Let us change it to this. It gives us a little bit more detail we got going on here. I like that a lot. Most of the shading on this is pretty good. As far as, it's all quads, right? So it's pretty simple stuff. Nothing crazy. But, cool. Let's get these blades made. So, the blades are going to be, let's go, click on this, tab. Let's go to, grab this, Shift S, cursor to selected, tab, and let's get out of this matte cap. Let's go back to our, I really like the clay. Clay looks great. This, yeah, this is giving, and we can also add cavity in, right? Boom. Which is going to just give a little bit more detail here. And we want these blades, so I'm going to go Shift A, Mesh, Cube, scale down to about there, GX. We want this, I'm going to start this right here, GZ. And tab, we're going to go 3, and we're going to extrude this all the way out to the end of the blade. So GX, right there. Actually, let's set this right here, and then let's go 2, and we'll zoom in here. Let's go 2, GX. And GZ right there. I love that. Let's come back here. GX, GZ. Fantastic. And then we can take this, we can go 3, boom, boom, and boom, and we can scale on the y-axis. that scaling the whole thing? That seems weird that it would scale the whole thing. Control Z, Tab GZ. Let's go Tab Extrude Z. And we can fix this part later. Right now I just want to get this blade built. So we take this and this and this and we scale on the Y. Control R. Scale on the Y. G, X. G, X. This side is looking a little bit thicker than the other side, but whatever we make on one side, we're just duplicating over to the other. It's not going to be that big of a deal. And I think that this can look really cool. I think that looks great, to be honest with you. Especially if we go Tab, Shift Q, Mirror, Y, Enter, Tab, and then we go K, actually, I think that that's it. Control Z, Control Z. We go K. Boom. Boom. And so this down here will be a different material than this up here. And this will be where the actual blade is. So this comes up to here. I think that that will look really good. Let's just hit enter and let's go like this. Let's go 1, boom. GZ. Like that. Now this is no longer a quad, and what I'm trying to figure out is how to make this continue being a quad. That's not a quad either. So, okay. Because we don't like triangles at all. Yeah, you know, I feel like that was unnecessary. Let's go K, boom. Boom. The only problem is that just turned this into a non-quad. This is now 5, which means that I have to go boom, boom, boom. And that should now be a quad, enter. That's 4, that's 4, that's 4, that's happy. That's 4, that's happy. Cool. And it looks like a weapon. Now this and this. First, let's grab these and let's go GZ. Oh, no, that and that and that. GZ. GX. Flatten, relax. There we go. 1. Let's get like this. Yeah, that seems to be pretty straight. That seems to be pretty straight. And this honestly looks fine the way it is. I think that this looks fantastic. For blade. Got your Gunblade kind of being built right here. Looking pretty sick. And the cool thing is we can go Shift D, Z, rotate X 90. Nope. Rotate X 180. GZ. GX. GZ. Oh, I like that a lot. That looks so sick. Two. GX. Oh, Control Z. GY. Tab. And here we can kind of look at this. What I'll do is I will go to our world, drop this down to 0.4. Actually, we could just go like this, and then we can go Shift A, light, spot. No, we'll do an area light, GZ, Shift D, Z, rotate X 180, G, Y, rotate X, boom, G, Y, and now you can kind of get a little bit more of a sense of what we've got going on here. Now there is some shading issues going on here that I'm not too much of a fan of. This seems to be kind of funky looking. That looks great. That looks a little sus. But with this and this, Control J, Q, origin to geometry, that's fine. And then if I go like this and I go add modifier, subdivision surface, and right click, shade auto smooth, Control Z, Control Z. I think shading it flat looks best. Tab. Ah, look at that. These are not connected. G, Y. Boom. There we go. Tab. And tab. G, Y. Boom. Tab. I think that fixes a lot of issues. See, it looks like it's still not connected, which doesn't really make sense to me. Boom. Tab. There we go. And a lot of these shading issues we'll be able to kind of fix. We'll be able to work with. I think we'll be able to get it looking a lot better with materials. Materials are going to be kind of really where we hone this in. But yeah, I mean, as far as just taking a sketch into an actual blade, like this looks great in my opinion. I think this looks really cool, especially after we get everything else in. I think this is going to look super dope. Super dope. All right, and let's go Q, face orientation. Everything looks good. Everything looks fine and dandy. No problems here. Control R. Control R. Control R. And we'll be able to fix that as we go along. But insofar as just a simple design for a Gunblade, I think that this turned out pretty good, you guys. We've got quite a block out going on here. Now, one thing we can do is we can select the different parts and we can start throwing just a couple materials on for shits and gigs. But first what I want to do is go All, Control A, Scale, and then that way, if we hit N, scale should be 1 and 1, which is fantastic. So if I click on this, and then I go to my asset browser, and we go bump materials, I should be able to throw one of these scuffed metal onto this. See if this works. That didn't work. Send that to, may have just crashed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Looks like Blender just crashed. One downside of open source software and streaming at the same time. All right, well, just so I don't lose all of this, I am probably going to end the stream there. Oh, there we go. We can save it. Woo, let's fucking go. We are going to call this, are we in project files? We're going to put this into objects. Into, this is fine. We'll just leave this here. Gunblade. Wow. Gunblade. Save Blender file. Let's go. We saved it. We survived that. I'm so excited on that. Let's go to here. There we go. And we're going to go tab, all, U. Ah, look at that. It's opposite sides. Let's go U. Unwrap. Cube project, and there you have some metal Dude, I'm so stoked that this is working. This makes me so happy. Which looks pretty sick. And then what we can also do is go in with 3. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do that. Boom, boom. And this, let's throw this concrete material on there. So we'll go here, we'll go new, assign concrete. And that will be that part of the blade, which we'll be able to manipulate. Don't get me wrong. We're going to make sure it all makes sense. And then let's also make sure that this is getting enough lighting. So let's go tab, GZZ, and let's go boom, boom, Shift D, X, rotate Z, G, Y, GZ, GX, G, Y, GZ, G. Make sure that we're nice and well lit here. And then we can click on this, go to our shader editor. I have this wonderful material here. Concrete 1, color and value. Let's take the value up. No, let's take it down. I like that. I kind of like it down. And then color 2. That one's not making sense. Edge width. I like that. Center value. That's not doing anything. Center saturation. That's not doing anything. Center color. That's not doing anything. Color, that's not doing anything. Value. I like this being brighter. I like this being brighter too. And then scale. Some of the noise that I got going on there. And then where it's at. That's fine. I am going to hit tab on this. I want to come in here and I want to take this roughness down. Ooh, or take its metallic up. And so that is concrete 2. Let's go concrete 1. Take its metallic up. Take its roughness down. Roughness down. That's fantastic. Just to get, it's still metal, but it's not the same area of metal, right? Just to kind of get that that going on there. And then let's take this, scale like that. I think that looks a lot better. Have some fun with it. And then with this I do want to tab, inset, like that. And then I also want to control 1, tab. Let's go like this, boom. Let's take this, control R. Let's go along like that, tab. And then tab at the back, control R. Like this. Scale X 0. I like that a lot. Tab. And that just gives a little bit more of a natural flow to this. Right click, shade auto smooth. And down here at the end, we're going to need to tab, Control R, Control R. Scale X 0, boom. And on this, we could probably go up on the subdivisions. I wonder if we brought this mirror up. And it doesn't matter. 2 subdivisions tab. I feel like that is going to just make it look a little bit more organic. And then we can also go all, U, cube projection, minimize, tab, command save. Go back to our asset browser. And then I have some wood materials here that are pretty sick. I like this wood plank one. I like this procedural wood one. That looks fantastic. Look at that. Looks great. So if we do UV editor here, and we go tab, and we go, I think this is, nope, that's not it. Where's the wood? Grunge, textures, tab. Let's go all scale. GX, rotate, ooh, scale, rotate, scale, tab, that's looking fantastic, but I don't know if I want to stick with that material, so let's go asset browser here. I know I have another wood material in here. Old wood planks. And that looks fantastic. It does have a little bit of a spin to it, which I'm not sure I want. Yeah, I don't really care for that. So let's go back to our UV editor. Tab. Rotate. GX. Something like that. Looks a lot better. And what I would also like to do is go 3, but excuse you. Boom, boom, like that. Yeah, that's fine. All scale like this. Scale Y, like that. GX. And then we'll go 4, boom, rotate X. GX. Control I, GX, all GX. GX. Keep going until something looks semi-decent. Scale X. I like that a lot. I like the crack going down the barrel of it. I think that looks really good. Tab. And then we can go back to our shader editor right here. And this is the material, right? So let's switch this over to Studio so you can just see the colors that are being placed. And let's go like this. Let's go Shift A, hue, saturation, luminance, or value. Sorry, I'm used to Photoshop. Let's go saturation can be up a decent amount. That's kind of blue. And then we can kind of change this to be a little bit redder. I like I like the slight red hue to this. I think that that looks great. And then let's see what the value does to this. Is that just too bright? No, I kind of like that too. I think that that looks sick. That looks tight. I think that the wood really goes well with that. I am going to click on this barrel. Let's get out of this mode. And let's drop that same gunmetal that's on the inside here onto a concrete. So the barrel will be the same material as this is. Should look kind of cool. I think that looks good. I think that looks good. And then this could also be the same. So let's go like this. Let's go tab. On this, I want to go Control 2, tab, boom. Actually, Control Z, Control Z. We're going to instead go concrete on this as well. Tab, all, U, cube projection. That looks fine. Tab. And then, which is a nice, this will be a nice dirty material, right? But I want to throw a bevel modifier on this. So we're going to go like this, bevel, boom. And that looks kind of interesting. Let's go shade auto smooth. And on that bevel modifier, we are going to take this up above. And we're going to go 2 or 3 or 4. And we're going to take it down like that. I think that that looks great. That looks fantastic. I want this to be the same material as the sharp part of the blade. So we come down here to scuffed steel. That looks fairly good to me. Tab, all, U, cube projection, tab. And then we can also come here to our UV editor tab and just go all scale. Scale Y. Yeah, looks like it's repeating quite a bit. Let's rotate like this. I like that. Now you almost have like the rotational scratches going on with that. And then the handle should be the same as the, let's go like this. Let's go assign to the old wood planks, assign, and then this, wait, Control Z, Control I, scale X, and then this will also go Alt E, extrude faces along normals like this, boom, and then boom, boom, boom. Well, we could just go like this. Control I, and this will be new material, and this will be the scuffed metal assign. U, sphere projection, tab. Now we have that. I like that a lot. See, that looks great. And this is a, oh, this should also be, see, and I was wondering if this should be gold. If these should be gold. I felt like these would look really cool gold. Let's take this, tab, all, U, cube projection, all, G, scale, tab, and then this should also be the scuffed steel. I feel like that looks just fine for like weaponry, right? This tab, all, scale, I feel like should be a little bit bigger. Tab. And there is a Gunblade, my friends. I think the barrel should also be scuffed steel. I feel like that it just stands out a little bit more. And we can go in and add all sorts of like decals and like other stuff to this later. I just wanted to kind of get something built that kind of looks cool and we can refine in the future. But yeah, there's our Gunblade, you guys. There is our Gunblade. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm pretty excited on working on these projects. I find them really fun to work on. Designing something, modeling it, texturing it, and just having a blast. I'd love to do a stream where we just go through and we spend 2 hours just completely, now that it's like we have our materials kind of built out and we have a direction that we wanted to go, we can just have a lot more fun with this. I do think that I want this shader, let's go like this, to be more down at like a 5 and more down at like a 1, and the edge width to be down something like that too. I feel like that looks just a little bit better. And then also tab with these. Also go to the UV editor, all, and scale these down as well, or scale these up. Rotate, G. So it just looks a little bit better in my opinion. I think that looks a lot better. But yeah, sick Gunblade design that we came up with, and maybe this wood even shader editor, maybe it does look better with just the original gray wood. I feel like that actually isn't a bad look. Now, what I want to do is I want to go study brackets and exactly how. Now that this is really just still a block out, right? I want to study the brackets and how handles are connected and where things are. You're going to get those embellishments and like filigree and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool to add on to this. Let's hide that, and let's set our background to no longer be transparent. Film, transparent. Just so that this is popping up a little bit more. Popping off a lot, right? Our Gunblade. And we can totally view this in camera. Looks sick. We got our wood material there. We got our rusty metal material, scratched metal material. What I would also like to do is somehow incorporate more of a controlled edge here. I feel like that would look cooler than just this whole section is edge, but also at the same time it kind of looks sick. Kind of looks really sick. And one way to do that maybe is by grabbing this, going tab, and then just going extrude, tab, so that there is that edge. Control Z, Control Z, extrude, tab. I don't even know if that did anything, tab. something like that. Just the slightest bit of little like edge on there might be really cool. And let's go bevel modifier on this. Boom. Just to kind of catch that light a little bit. I don't know. I'm thinking it looks pretty sick. Well, you guys, thanks for hanging out this stream. Oh, I super appreciate it. Don't work too hard. Don't forget to save your projects. Command save. Command save. My Streamlabs remote does not work, so I have to do this manually, but that's fine. Have a good rest of your afternoon, you guys. Adios.